Okay, so we're going to be doing a reaction a little later than yesterday. Yesterday I did an hour earlier, but today we're going to be doing a slightly crazier one. It's called the Emu War by Oversimplified. Yes, there was a war with Australia against the emus. Anyways, this. Yeah.
This is Australia. For the man who imagines being strangled by a tarantula while a kangaroo breaks his kneecaps and thinks, yes please. For the man who pictures himself being eaten by a snake in the burning outback while eating a Vegemite sandwich and thinks, yes please.
No.
And that man was Governor Arthur Phillip, who landed in eastern Australia in 1788, presumably saw a dingo being eaten by a crocodile, being eaten by a death adder, being eaten by a koala, being eaten by Mel Gibson, and thought to himself,
That's obviously not true, but okay.
yes. Good. Now I know what you're thinking, but oversimplified, the British didn't discover Australia, the Vikings did.
And you'd be wrong
And you'd be wrong.
if you thought that, yeah.
I'm not sure why you'd think that. But hey, if you love Vikings so much,
Like half the world away from the Viking area. Like, yeah. The most southern Viking area was North Africa in the Mediterranean. That was like as south as they could go. Even Constantinople, modern day Istanbul, was accessible.
then why don't you check out today's...
Okay, we're skipping out this. If you want to see Viking War of Clans, he's leaving a link in the description. So, yes. See link in the description below.
Shield.
Sorry, just wait a minute. Okay, sorry for the disturbance. I'll share it again.
Buy! Man, this is great. The market will continue to grow forever. But what if it doesn't? Oh crap, I never thought...
That's what happened in the Great Depression. I mean, in the US or any other country, early 1920s, it just kept growing. But late 1920s, it plummeted.
that. Sell! And the stock market crashed, which led to economic downturn, which meant banks wouldn't lend anyone any money, which led to more economic downturn, which meant everyone stopped buying stuff, which led to more economic downturn. And hey, what if all the crops in the Great Plains were destroyed in a drought and then a big dust storm engulfed the area? That's right, more economic downturn. And in an effort to combat the crisis, America began imposing tariffs on foreign imports, which made the economic downturn go global, and the earth got really depressed. But one nation...
Yeah, the Great Depression started in the US.
That was hit harder than most by the whole affair, Australia. The problem for Australia was that it relied heavily on its export industry.
See, Australian goods, wool, wheat, and shrimp for throwing on barbecues.
And in the current economic climate, no one was buying. To make things worse, Australia had introduced its own currency and pegged it onto the gold standard via the British pound. But then
the Australian pound went to the gold standard using the British pound.
UK started messing with its own peg on the gold standard.
Yeah, and that pretty much led to more economic downturn in Australia. But I have a question. Why can't they just link their own thing to the gold standard instead of using the British pound as a link?
And if this is starting to sound confusing, then let me oversimplify it for you. Hey UK, looks like my car is broken down.
Okay, if your car is broken down, firstly, don't keep this thing open because that could be some criminal trying to steal something. And why they show Australia and Britain the same size? I mean, that's not proportionate.
Want to give me a tow? No problem, friend. I got you.
And why is Britain so slow? Hey, what was that?
More economic downturn. The point I'm trying to make is things weren't good, and in particular, it was Australia's farmers that were suffering most. After the First World War, Australia had given returning veterans land for farming.
Yeah, and look at that stuffed cow. Anyways, so most of the men who signed up in Australia were originally people who lived on the coast or were farmers. So they gave those veterans farming land again, and pretty much most of them went to farming instead of being in the city. That's how the emu war starts.
But with the current economic crisis, the farmers just weren't making enough money, and many left to go find work in the cities. But for those who remained, things were about to get even worse.
Emus.
Before we get into that, it's time for some cultural exchange. My national bird is the bald eagle. It's a strong patriotic symbol of America and a deeply valued and protected species. My national bird is the peafowl. It's a beautiful creature
At least I do something related to India in this video, so yeah.
whose vivid colors represent India, so we list it as a protected species. My national bird is the emu, and it's a pest.
That's true, the emu is a pest to Australia.
Also bloody delicious.
Yeah, it's
Emus.
delicious in Australia, anyways.
6 feet tall, 90 to 120 pounds, and able to run at speeds up to 40 miles per hour.
I mean, 120 pounds, 60 kilos. That's pretty heavy.
Usually return to the coast after their breeding season, but suddenly they found Western Australia full of lush, wet farmland.
At this point, all I want to do is live in Eastern Australia instead.
Oh my, look at all this delicious wheat that just so happens to be growing here in large quantities. Hey guys, get a look.
Yeah, they 100% knew that they'd get retaliated at against this. So yeah.
At this. You know, my.
Oh,
Look
wow.
at all this.
Oh, yeah.
delicious wheat.
Oh,
Just
that's
really
really
good.
good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never
Yeah.
seen
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's really good.
Oh, yeah.
So
You're
much better.
You're right.
You're right.
Grains
Every
kinda
day.
guy.
Okay, so they're gone. No more problems, right? Well, just look at this tiny thing over here. That'll cause more.
Hey, who left this big hole in the fence? Guys, get a load of this. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, really good. Oh, yeah.
You know, that gets rid of anything that was left.
That's what I am. I'm a rabbit. Great. What a lovely morning for some farming. What? Those damned emus, they have it in for me. They're bullies. They're nothing but bullies. Calm down, Bruce. They're just animals. It's not personal. Hey, Farmer Bruce, where did you find that hat? The toilet?
Wait, what's it?
Yes.
He found that out in the toilet. Wow.
20,000 emus cost the already struggling farmers millions more pounds in loss.
And it was only 20,000. I mean, only 20,000. So
Crops and damages.
that's much less than the population of Australia at the time. But still, I mean, not even like, I'd say maybe 50, 80,000 people were farmers after the economic downturn. But also look at this. The land for farming is also pretty low. So this is just the coastal area, which is not outback. I mean, it's only here. And then this area right here, Northern Australia, is a bit of outback, but no, not much. So I'm just, yeah. Tasmania has pretty much no desert at all. But there's very little land for farming in the area. But also they change some, like, but there's also a bit of farmland in the outback, like rare farmland. That's why.
The situation couldn't continue like this. Something had to be done. So in 1932, the farmers turned to the government for help. You'd think they'd go to the Minister of Agriculture, but these farmers said no. This is a job for the military. So
But why military? I mean, why? You could have gone Minister of Agriculture and they could have gotten rid of the emus more effectively than the emu war actually went.
they went to George Pearce, the Minister of Defense. That's right, Australia was to go to war with the emus.
So Australia is going to war with animals within itself. Wow.
But not everyone was happy with the idea. This is barbaric. We can't go slaughtering thousands of our own national bird. Oh, come on, guys. The
Yeah, but they only killed like 1,200 or something. So yeah.
machine guns will make it quick and painless. Machine guns? You're using machine guns? This is animal cruelty. Look, I know it's unusual, but it's not like we're poachers turning the birds into feather hats.
Yeah, he actually wanted a feather hat, so yes.
Think of the benefits. It'll be good target practice for our boys.
Yeah, that'll be good target practice, but to slaughter thousands of your own national bird, I don't think so.
The government can show it took action. Plus, I can get myself a nice new feather hat. Did I say feather hat? I meant I want to together chat with
What? Oh, that doesn't make any sense, but okay.
you about getting you all some nice new feather hats. Did I say
What?
feather hats? I meant I want to wage terror at
Terror at these emus.
these emus and turn them all into feather hats. Of course, Pierce first made the farmers sign an agreement saying that they would pay for the whole thing and that Pierce wouldn't take any of the blame if the operation, that was clearly very stupid, turned out
Yeah, it was very stupid.
to indeed be stupid. And the operation went ahead. Major GPW Meredith and his men were sent with 2 Lewis machine
How many men? Like only 2 men with Meredith? I mean, okay.
guns to hunt down and take out
Only 2 machine guns. I mean, if they scatter these men all through Australia, maybe done a division and just scatter them, and anytime they saw emus, they kill them, then this operation would have been a lot more effective.
the evil emu population in Western Australia. Target spotted. Well, was it an emu? No, sir. It's an emo. Damn
It's an emo, not an emu.
it, Jones. Learn your vowels. I'm sorry. Okay, it looks like the humans are coming.
And now they removed they swapped the O and the U. In Saudi, they put U, so Surrey, which is a county in England, I believe. And for emu, they put emo. So that's just fun.
For us. But check this out. I've come up with an
And how do they not see the emus? I mean, they're right behind him.
amazing plan. See if you can follow me here, okay? When they approach, we run away.
I mean, this is a plan for everything. This is the plan for everything. If just run away. I mean, emus are faster than humans. Only humans in cars, or maybe the fastest bicycle on earth, could beat them. And they also have pretty good stamina. So, yeah, they could. That's the best strategy: run away, or try to kill the humans themselves. But that's harder. So, yeah.
Sir, you're a genius. Pierce sent a camera crew along with the machine gunners to capture some good old propaganda for the government, and the first battle took place in November at Campion. The men spotted a mob of emus
A battle against emus. I mean, not emus. Emus. Yeah.
from a distance, so they set up their guns and opened fire. The emus split up into smaller groups and ran in every direction. The men were only able to
I mean, that's just smart to do that. Just split up. Every man for himself. Just split up and run any direction you possibly can. That gives them a lot more targets, and they just can't concentrate their gunfire on one area.
kill what they called a number of birds, but the vast
By number, they meant like 10, 15 birds, maybe 20, 30, sometime that. Yeah.
majority got away. Cut! Surprisingly, many of the emus were able to take multiple bullets, but still run at full speed to safety, causing Meredith to compare them to tanks, saying if we had a military division with the bullet-carrying capacity of these birds, it would face any army in the world. Okay, we need to get closer. No, you idiots, not to me, to the emus. Sorry. No. I like it. So next, they tried sneaking up on a large number of emus near a local dam and firing at short range. Maybe the men were just unlucky, but my professional
Wait, go back. See, in Australia, it's rock or tall grass. That's it in the outback. Maybe a few lakes, rivers here and there, but yeah.
of emus near a local dam and firing at short range. Maybe the men were just unlucky, but my professional opinion says the emus were magic.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Because both guns jammed after just 12 emus were killed, and once again, the rest got away. Cut! The men were feeling a little humiliated after losing to a pack of
They're losing to a pack of Australian ostriches.
discount ostriches, so they decided to move further south, where the emus were said to be tamer. And this time, they had a new strategy. Okay, Jones, here's the plan. You mount the machine gun in the back.
Where is the other guy? The other guy also should have the machine gun in the back so they can be more efficient.
I'll chase the emus. You shoot. Got it? Got it.
And both of them have no control over whatever they're doing. Jones is firing wherever he can, but not even standing on the ground. But that guy, Australian terrain doesn't allow him to drive like that. So, yeah. many houses, but it's still alive. How is he still alive after killing the The drones are slow now. Obviously, this didn't happen, and that didn't happen, but yeah.
I'm gonna shove that camera up your. The operation was a fiasco, and the press had a field day. In Parliament, Pierce was lambasted, and an opposition party member suggested that medals should be handed out to the emus, who
That's true. I give medals to the emus.
had won every round so far. Pierce, feeling quite humiliated, called the operation off. But 4 days later, the farmers approached again and said, "Hey man, the emus are still eating all our crops. Can you send the army back out here?" And Pierce was like, "Yeah, okay." So the operation was back on for round 2. And this time Meredith and his men had learned the emus' guerrilla tactics and were much more successful, with reports suggesting the men were cutting down 300 emus every week.
300 a week.
I hope you boys are getting great footage of this. What on earth are you filming? Despite the success,
Alright.
hope you boys are getting great footage of this. What on earth are you filming? Despite the
Some guy eating a koala.
success, the media had lost interest in the whole thing. But with 1,000 emus killed, Pierce finally ended the operation and returned to Parliament declaring victory for the humans. So there were
Emus won. See, 20,000. They only killed 1,000, so 19,000 are still left. So they killed one every 20 emus they fired at.
20,000 emus out there destroying crops, and you've killed 1,000. Meaning there's still 19,000 emus out there. Yep. And in addition, you've burned through 10,000 rounds of ammunition.
10,000 rounds of ammunition. I think that's like one bullet. So 10,000 bullets. No, 10,000 a round is basically how many bullets a machine gun fires until it's out of ammo. I mean, and they have to refill. So 10,000 rounds. That's 100 round per confirmed kill. Wow. Maybe there are many unconfirmed kills which they don't know about. So yes.
Meaning you wasted 10 rounds per confirmed kill. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this one for the emus.
Yeah, I
At
agree with
least
that.
I got a feather hat. What?
Yeah, I've never noticed this before, but that's a dead emu. I mean, that's a dead emu's face. I mean, I've never noticed this. That looks so much like a hat, but that's the emu's head. I mean, yeah.
What? So in the end, the emus won the Great Emu War of 1932,
They
and the emus continued to wreak havoc on the farmers for years to come. The government introduced a bounty system, which saw some success. But for a moment, let's take some time to remember the brave men who said goodbye to their families and risked their lives to take on the great, evil emu population in Western Australia.
And at the time, they decided to keep machine guns. One person would keep a machine gun on the shoulder while the other would fire.
But even more importantly, let's think of the friends
Oh, and this is one round, like that.
they made, the bond they created, and the memories they shared.
Take me home to golden fields and sights of days gone by. It's where the heart lies with stories on.
Hey, guys,
Wait, what?
I solved the emu crisis.
How?
Really? How?
Most probably it's since they build better fences, but yes.
I just made some better fences.
Up. Okay. So that landed. So hope you liked the video. I mean, the stupidest war in history, I'd call it. The stupidest war in history. But yeah. So see you next time. I'll be uploading a really fun video. I'll be ranking each European country's flag in the not in the description, but I'll be uploading that around 12 or 1 or something like that in the afternoon or morning or something like that. And then I'll upload a gaming video at around 3 or 4, and then another reaction video at 6, maybe. Yeah. And that'll be it. Anyways, so see you next time. Bye. And link to the original video in the description.